Hello students, today we are going to study a very important topic of class 10 and that is double circulation. So what do you mean by double circulation? Double circulation is passage of blood twice through the heart. When the blood passes through our heart, it has to traverse two types of chambers. So in order to study double circulation, we need to study that what are these chambers of human heart. There are two types of chambers of human heart. Two are the receiving ones, which are called auricles, and two are the distributing ones, which are called the ventricles. These are the receiving chambers and these are the distributing chambers. The second thing we need to know is the difference between arteries and veins. A very, very basic difference that will be very substantial in studying this is that arteries are the blood vessels which distributes blood from heart to body parts, and veins are the blood vessels which distributes blood from body parts to heart. So now with these three concepts very clear, we should be known with one more thing, that is the heart of human is divided into two parts. The right side receives the deoxygenated blood while the left side receives the oxygenated blood. These three things have to be kept in mind while studying double circulation. So let us proceed on to a very, very basic chart. What you do is like draw these 6 rectangular boxes, and in these rectangular boxes mention body part in the middle one and lungs in the middle one of the second line. Now as we know that blood, that is deoxygenated blood, flows into the auricle of right side. So we'll mark it right auricle. Similarly, the blood will flow from the body parts to this right auricle of our heart, which receives deoxygenated blood. From auricle, this will naturally go to the right ventricle. And in this way, body part, right auricle and right ventricle will send the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for the process of oxygenation. In this process of oxygenation, now the blood will get oxygenated and this oxygenated blood will go to another receiving chamber, that is of the right side, right auricle. You can see that I have specifically mentioned these color schemes. The red is indicating the flow of oxygenated blood while the blue is indicating the flow of deoxygenated blood. Right auricle will now give this blood to the right ventricle, which will move now finally to the body parts. In this way, the circulation of blood is completed. Now, what is double circulation? We can see over here that when the circulation of blood is between the body parts and the heart, it is called systemic circulation. In the very similar way, the circulation of blood between the heart and the lungs is called pulmonary circulation. So pulmonary, my dear friends, is a term which is related with all things doing with the lungs. So now we will fill in the gaps in between. As we have already cleared here up that arteries and veins are the two kinds of vessels in which arteries give the blood from heart to body parts. As you can see over here, this body part is giving the blood to the heart. So body part is giving to the heart. It is going to be a vein. Now, as this is a vein, we will use this blue color, and this name of this vein is superior or inferior vena cava. That, my dear friends, are the thickest veins of our body. Now, moving on from here, we can see here heart to body part. That means to say it's going to an artery. As it is going to be an artery, we will mention here an artery. Artery most of the time artery receives, the artery flows is oxygenated blood. So here this artery from right ventricle to body part, it is the largest blood vessel of a body and the name is aorta. You can write down this is the biggest blood vessel of a body. Moving on to the next part, similarly, you can see for that from the right ventricle to the lungs, when body parts receive blood from the heart, you can see it's going to be an artery. Now, as it is going to be an artery, it should be oxygenated blood. But here comes the exception. This is deoxygenated blood which is being sent for oxygenated to the lungs. As the term has come, lungs, this is going to be pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery, my dear friends, is an exception which has deoxygenated blood to be mentioned. Moving on to the movement of blood from lungs to right auricle. Now again, it is the body part to the heart. You can see it's going to be again a vein. Now if it is a vein, then which vein? As it is coming from the lungs, it's going to be, my dear friends, a pulmonary vein. So you need not to memorize these things. What you need to do is this basic concept reading from this chart. Moving on from right auricle to the right ventricle and this part. Now these two things, one last thing that we need to mention is the presence of a valve. What is valve? Valve is a one-way door which opens to one side only. So there are two valves in the respective right and the left part of the body.